Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Field X39 Team Saturday training. And we're going to have an absolute blast tonight. I don't know about any of the rest of you, but I'm in total joy today. And we have one of my favorite speakers on. Renita's going to be on. And Renita loves to flow joy. She loves to flow happiness. And then, of course, there's two of my very, very favorites, Steve and Gina on. But they are all about the party. Let's have a great time. Let's make money. Let's lock arms. Let's build a great business together. So I'm really, really excited for today's call. I'm really glad that you're here. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Gina, for your leadership. Thank you for all you do. And Renita, thank you so much for joining us today. I mean, Renita's like #1 in the Aruba trip. And it wasn't like, she just barely made it, like if you're an Olympic athlete, you often win by, 1/10 of a second. Renita like blew the doors off of everybody. There wasn't even anybody close in second place. And so there's so much for all of us to learn, including me, because each and every one of us brings something amazing to this business. And I'm really excited to be able to highlight Renita along with Steve and Gina Merritt together. So we're going to have a really, really fun day.
So welcome everyone. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. And I'll tell you what, you better buckle up because you're going to get some great information. This girl is on fire. We're so excited and so proud of her. And we got our white on because we're reminding you about the April 15th. Go to Senior Director, boom, boom, boom. Yep. Hey, it's going to be a good time. But welcome everyone. This is going to be incredible. I got a notepad, I got a pen, I hope you do, or use your phone notes because this is going to be powerful.
Guys, we're so fired up to have so many people on. If you're not part of the Quantum Field Facebook team, which is you just go to Quantum Field X39 Team Facebook, Google that or search it in Facebook, join the team because you're going to be blown away by the rank advancements. It's just like a wild machine that just keeps pumping out people, this Quantum Field 331 system, which Renita is going to be talking about. It's going to be amazing what is accomplishing. And by the way, when you come into momentum, like it was Onyx that took the company from 20 million to 280 million over a 3-year span. She's got stamina. Look at how excited she is to this day. Okay. And then we all jumped on as that momentum was happening. That was our story when we made phone calls. Yeah. And now it's like a rocket ship for anyone that jumps in. So I encourage you, now is the time. Timing is everything. Our goal.
So before we go to Renita, you all, we have to acknowledge Gina's sister. Because Gina's sister made presidential, you all. It's absolutely fantastic. Cindy and Jen's made presidential. And it's just amazing to see just the rank advance, people that are consistently and persistently working in business. So proud of you, Cindy and Jen's. Looking forward to seeing you at SPD. Next stop, on its way.
Yes, thank you, Onyx.
That's what we're talking about. Thanks, Onyx, for saying that. Gina's sister, Cindy, and my brother-in-law, Jen's, got in the business and ranked 4 times in 1 week. All right. So that's the kind of momentum that you can expect if you're plugging in and you're zoned in. Gina, myself, Renita, and Onyx have been on these calls, a Saturday training. We haven't made anyone drive anywhere around the state, around the country, around anywhere. Basically plugged in to these incredible Zoom trainings on Saturdays and did the same thing with our team by us being on. They're all on. And that's all we've been doing for the last 8 months that we've been rocking this. And now people can realize that it's the real deal because Onyx has been in for 3 years. Renita, Scott, Gina, myself have been in for 8 months. That's enough belief.
I think we're just going on 9 months.
Going on 9 months. So our goal is to break 100 new senior directors by April 14th, and we are on our way. It is happening in a big way. So your goal first is to go manager in the next 30 days. You could do that over the weekend. Renita is going to talk about that today. 2 right, 2 left, silver, 2 silver to the right, 2 silver to the left. They got to be on 1 sleeve auto ship. You need to be a gold on 2 sleeve. Okay. Get that down. If you're not a gold, make sure you upgrade, get yourself on 2 sleeves so you can make everything in the comp plan. The 60-day goal is to get yourself to director. If you thought manager was easy, going director is just a manager right, a manager left. Go help 2 people do what you did, and you're going to be a director. And now you can make up to $2,500 in the team commission to the comp plan. And then in 90 days, by the end of April 14th, I don't care where you came in, because of this momentum, you can hit by April 14th, senior director. If Renita and Scott can hit the highest rank of the company and within less than 60 days, then you surely can hit senior director, only the third rank, after what she's going to be teaching us today by doing that. Set a goal to put 20 personals right, 20 left. Maybe Renita will be talking about that today as well, because it's so vital in your success, because you don't have to push people to hit your goals. Normally in a network, I might be looking down when I'd say go 20 right or 20 left. But with this X39 technology and what it's doing for people's health and the testimonies we're seeing, okay, we know that everyone on here, if they plug into the 331 system that we've got that Renita is going to teach on, you're going to be able to put 20 right and 20 left in the next 90 days. You most likely can do it before the 14th of April to set you up to win and succeed. So we've got a whole lineup every week that you can plug into, where you're on Saturday with us right now, but Monday is going to be the next opportunity for you to put people on. Wednesday is 8 o'clock, Fridays at noon, and then on Thursdays at 8, we have Spanish. So you're all set up. Nobody's left behind. You plug in, you are going to win, and we're going to talk about that today, and we're fired up to be on here today with every one of you, especially all the new people that are fired up.
So, hey, go ahead.
No, I just said that's right. I'm looking at all these new faces, new names. Like, this is so much fun.
Yes.
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing. So we are so excited to have you on today, Renita. Man, I'm telling you what, you are the second fastest in the whole LifeWave company to hit senior presidential director.
Yeah.
You're at the top of the leaderboard for Aruba. I mean, you guys are just smoking it. We are so proud of you. And without any further ado, here we go with amazing today's 90-day run to Aruba. Now we are 90-day run to senior director. You guys.
I love you guys. Hey, I got to just say thank you to you. I mean, Steve and Gina, you two are the reason that we homeschool our boys. Like, you gave us a vision, 15 years ago, that you can have freedom, you can have fun, you can have freedom. And we just like the idea of water skiing anytime. Steve taught us all how to barefoot water ski. We love the fact that we could homeschool our kids and teach them what we want them to learn, teach them to be entrepreneurs, right? And Onyx, the same goes for you. I remember Onyx standing on stage and she said, if something isn't working, shift. And I remember she just had muscles because she does hot yoga, and she just shift. And then she said, if that doesn't work there, shift again. Yeah. And she goes, and if that doesn't work, shift again. And that is like, it burned and seared in my mind that you just have to keep shifting until you have success. And so I just want to tell you, you guys, like, I always say, it's like, what goes before you? You guys are the reason Scott and I are doing what we're doing. And the reason that, when Onyx said, Renita, what you do in your first 4 months of LifeWave is setting the foundation for your business, I listened to that. I didn't take that lightly, Onyx. I was like, okay, 4 months, I'm going to give it all I got. But what happened was it got to be so much fun. And now we're in such a season of momentum. We just can't take our foot off the gas.
That's right. That's right.
4 months have turned into 9, right? And 10 and 11. Let's go. Let's keep going. So
today's going to be so fun. We're super excited. And the first question that we're going to ask you is, can you tell us a little bit about your family? And thank you today also for just being a big blessing to everyone on here. It's going to be amazing. Thank you.
I love you guys. Yeah, so certainly. So we're up here in North Dakota and it's freezing. We had another blizzard again last night. The entire state shut down again. This business, by the way, is perfect for anybody in cold weather climates with blizzards, because you can work from your home. No one's getting to work these days up here in this state for sure. But so I've been a health coach for 25 years. I love health. I love getting people well. It's my passion. I love pulling people out of the pit. Our boys are incredible. Scott and I have been married for 20 plus years. I'm losing track. We're having so much fun. But our boys are 22, 16, and 14. Bo, True, and Rocco, tremendous athletes, all wearing the patches. Bo is tearing up the business. He's sponsoring other athletes. I think sometimes with the patch, we think of people with ailments or people that are, sick or whatever. And I'm like, no. Like, we got athletes, world-class athletes and athletic trainers and personal trainers and people that are involved in like high-level sports getting involved. So it's for everybody. So 22, 16, 14, they're all part of the family business. We love it. Yeah, I've been a health coach for 25 years. Most of my life, I've been spending time helping people lose weight and feel great, getting them off their diabetes medications, helping them to just reignite their health journey, because so many people have not had that, unfortunately. We've been misinformed for a long time. And so I was on the news for 8.5 years. I was the NBC health and fitness expert up here on the news for about 8.5 years. So I had my own segment every Wednesday, which was a total blessing from heaven, just getting to educate people and empower people with health and wellness, nutrition, fitness, all of it. And yeah, I'm just part of a lot of really incredible things, you guys. My life is really blessed and highly favored. I feel like that. We are incredibly busy. Scott's a financial planner. I still teach classes. We help care for my mom. We homeschool our kids. Our oldest is in college 3 hours away, Division I athlete. And so we have a lot of stuff going on. But when Steve called, everything changed, because here's what I'm going to tell you. Momentum, when you research the word momentum, it's like a moment. There's a moment in time. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the seasons of life or the seasons of business, but they're the same: spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I'm going to tell you what, when Steve called, I knew we were about to enter a spring season in business, because Steve and Gina hadn't made a change in a lot of years. And I already knew Onyx was crushing it, because she sent me, Onyx, you sent me, where's the patches? I got them all laying on the table here. She sent me the patches 2 years ago, Onyx, and I wasn't ready to hear it, because I was like, well, how is this patch going to do anything, right? I wasn't at a point to want to learn about it yet. And so when Steve called that day, it was a miracle, because I had actually been putting the patches on my mom. And my mom, a friend out of Canada, a nurse friend out of Canada, who's been a nurse for 25 plus years, just a Christian lady, rock solid nurse. She said, Renita, I think you should try these patches on your mom with her Parkinson's. I've seen really great results with my neighbor lady. And I said, okay. So she sent them on down, and Doris is just a little saint. And I was putting them on mom. So the day Steve called, this is how God works in my life. The day Steve called, it was the 11th day that mom had wore the patch, the 11th day. And that day, mom, I went down to the house that morning, and she was walking without the walker, and her attitude was good. She wanted to make me eggs. She's like, Nita, can I make you breakfast? And once you know it, that same day, because I didn't know there was an opportunity, I didn't know there was a business, I knew nothing, right? That same day, that was like at 8:30 a.m. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Steve Merritt calls me. I mean, what are the chances of that, you guys? Calls me up and says, hey, you know what? We want you to take a look at this opportunity. And I'm like, what is it? We're too busy already. We've got multiple businesses, Scott and I mean, I have online businesses. I've written books. Like we are like, if you look up over the top, it's us. But what I think is, I like to find busy people, because busy people are generally sharp. And they know when there's a spring season. And a spring season means things are about to shift. If you've ever, in spring in North Dakota, we're all waiting for spring over here. We know it's coming eventually, even though we got 12 inches of snow again last night. Like, we know it's coming. And when there's a spring season coming, trust me, you can feel it. You can feel it coming. Steve started talking about stem cells, and I'm like, you know what? We were thinking about taking mom down to Mexico for some stem cell treatment that was going to cost 20 grand. And then they called us back and said, it works in 50% of people, so you might have to make multiple visits to Mexico. So we opted not to do that. But the Lord had a plan, because 2 months later, bam, there's the stem cell patch, right? So we know that stem cell is such an incredible, incredible solution for so many problems going on right now, you guys. So many health ailments going on. And we don't treat, cure, or prevent any disease with this patch. But guess what? God does the healing. God helps our body. All this patch does is removes blocks, energetic blocks. We are energy, baby. I'm high energy. Onyx is high energy. Steve and Gina are high energy. But when you have energetic blocks, you have pain, right? Steve had multiple surgeries on his back. Why? He had pain. Why? Blocks. Is probably from doing a triple twist in the air or something barefoot. I don't know, like crazy stuff, right? But you had energetic blocks, and usually what they do is they cut surgeries, right? They get rid of those energetic blocks with surgeries. You guys, we don't need to do that. we can just put the patch on, and the patch helps to resume the flow of the body head to toe and get rid of a lot of that energy that's bound up or blocked. It's incredible what we've seen. It's miracles. So what do? I help people live a long, healthy, abundant life. That's what I do right now in my life. And I'm helping people activate their stem cells. And this has been nothing but a complete joyride.
I really love what she said there, Onyx. I love what she said as far as how busy she was.
Yeah.
So here's a gal that hit the highest rank at record pace, okay? And she's busy. So we're going to hear today too, how in the world she was able to be this busy and still rock and make it happen, because I love what she said. We're looking for busy people. I remember years ago when Gina and I sponsored Onyx, she was busy. Okay.
Yes,
but we figured out a way to make her busyness and her, like Renita said, had a lot of influence, because busy people have influence. And you really can really work together as a brand partner to help your friends that are busy win. That is who you're looking for, are busy people, because anyone you speak to, if they're going to win, they're already busy. So your goal now is to help them open up the opportunity. Then you might have to be working with those people as your friend is busy, as they are starting to have, as they start entering more income, they'll start waking up to the fact that they can put more time into this.
I love it.
We saw it right away. I mean, when we knew, I put my toe in the water. I put a post on social media and I had 100 people inbox me that wanted this patch. And I said to Scott, stop the train. Everything else that we're doing right now, we need to push pause on it, because this is a window where we're going to take advantage of this season. Listen, guys, when there is a season, you take advantage of the season. I'm going to tell you this, because here's the thing. You can't change the seasons. I can't change North Dakota here. This is like a snow globe that doesn't quit shaking up here. But like at the end of the day, you cannot change the seasons. You can only change yourself. So we had to say, okay, we've got to change ourselves and rearrange our life right now so we can just grab hold of this thing fully and sprint. Because like Onyx said, that first 4 months, I'm laying down a foundation. I'm going to take it to the top. I literally said out loud, we're taking it to the top. Scott and I are like, we're taking it to the top. High five. Let's go. You know what I mean? And so we, I think in network marketing, a lot of times, we say you can do it at your own pace, and you can. That's the beauty of this business. Scott and I often say we walk with the walkers, we jog with the joggers, and we sprint with the sprinters. Sometimes we get a double knot or shoelaces on those people. But at the end of the day, we want to help everybody. And there's systems in place that Onyx and Steve and Gina have created that everybody can plug into. But the truth be told, you guys, I think slow is painful in network marketing. I think slow is painful. It's just how God built me. I think fast is easy. Okay. Fast is easy because guess what? When you start picking up speed, what happens? Momentum, right? If you're sponsoring a person once a month, I mean, that's great. Good job. You're changing a life and it's awesome. Truth be told, though, it'd be much easier if you sponsored a couple people a month. 2 people, 4 people, 6 people, 10 people. Now you're catching fire. Now you got some momentum going down that sledding hill, right? And so at the end of the day, we realized, Scott and I said, we want to do this thing fast. We want to take it to the top as quickly as possible to create a massive amount of momentum. And how do you do that? Massive work, massive energy, right, Steve? I committed the first day I got in, I said, I'm going to do a Zoom meeting. And you guys had, I think at that time we were doing maybe 1, maybe 2 Zoom meetings a week, but I said out loud, I'm doing a Zoom meeting every day. I'm familiar with the Zoom platform. I'll do a Zoom meeting a day, 30 days of Zoom meetings. Let's go. And then after that 30 days got over, we did 30 more days of Zoom meetings because it just was such incredible momentum. So take advantage of the momentum that's happening now in Steve and Gina, Onyx's team. The fact that when I got started, Onyx, there wasn't 103 languages under the translate button at StartX39. Yeah. And a couple months later, when you clicked on translate, and you saw 103 languages, tells you everywhere we're going, guys. Like correct. This thing is being set up to win big for those of you that want to win big, like huge.
So Renita, what if you're somebody who has never built a network marketing business? And I know you, I adore you, and you run as fast as I run. We're like 2 racehorses. But what if you're not a racehorse, but you're looking at you're seeing your success. You're saying, I love Renita. I like her energy. I like her joy. I want to be able to do some of what she does, but I'm not a racehorse. How do you help that person put in more speed, put their foot on the gas if that's what they're thinking they want to do?
It's a good question. You know, I think the first thing is that like when we sponsor anybody, and not everybody is running at our pace, that's for certain. We've got people that have full-time jobs, full-time lives. I mean, honestly, I just think that everybody's busy and we get to choose what we want to do with our time. That's just where I'm at. I don't really know anybody who's just like laying on the couch being lazy. I just don't know those people. And so for the majority of the people I know, they have lives, they're busy, they have businesses, they have jobs, you know, their kids are in extracurriculars, they're in extracurriculars. But to answer your question, really what I think is just to be authentic, to let people know where you're at. A very huge thing is to let people know where you're going. Like when I would say, hey, we're taking this to the top, that's not just me throwing that out there. Like you need to tell people where you're going. This is the reason I could follow Steve when he called. I know what Steve and Gina do. I know what Onyx does. I know who they are. So when they call me and tell me what they're about to do, I'm like, I'm not saying, oh, well, I don't know if they're going to do it. I'm like, no, they're going to do it. And I'm going to do it too. So when they told me their vision, so the first thing you should be telling your people, if you're building this business, is the vision of where you want to go. Okay. Because here's the thing, when they first get in your business, they can't see it. They can't see it. They haven't seen any of the testimonies. They haven't heard any of the stories. You know what I always tell people? Just borrow my eyes until you have your own vision. You can borrow my eyes until you have your own vision, because my eyes have seen a lot already. And you guys' eyes have seen even more. That's the beauty of all these meetings that we're plugging into. We're all sharing the vision. We're seeing different visions from different people, different perspectives, right? So don't feel like you have to know it all or understand it all. You've created a system. And listen, I'll tell you what, I talked to a business owner yesterday. This is incredible. I know a friend of mine, and he owns multiple businesses. He's a multimillionaire, all franchises. And he was telling me yesterday, he cannot find help. He can't find help at these franchises. He lost $150,000 at the franchises last year. I mean, it's just a money suck right now with these franchises. And people don't even want to, you know, everything changed in the last 3 years, right? Everything changed in the last 3 years. How we do business changed in the last 3 years. And so he was telling me about all this time, energy, money, everything invested. And I sit back and I think to myself, our investment, our initial investment, we got started with gold and upgraded to diamond, and we buy two sleeves a month, but we actually are on auto ship for much more than that, because we sample 90 days, not 331, right? Onyx, you need at least 90 patches if you're going to do 331. Some people say they do 331, but then they only buy a sleeve of patches. I'm like, how are you doing 331? Like, let's be honest. I'm kind of a truth teller too. I'm like, let's get honest. Let's snap out of it, you guys, so you can have some success here. But anyway, this guy told me this, and I said, gosh, you got to take a serious look at our business. I said, our business, the overhead is minimal. I work from home when I want, if I want, anywhere I want, essentially, right? And I said, I'm not losing $150,000 a year. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, when they're telling me the traditional business owners are struggling right now, you should actually go talk to your business owner friends, because it's not what it once was, you guys. It's much, much different than it was 3 years ago. And so I don't even know what you asked me, but the bottom line is how do you set everybody else up to win? You plug them in. When I first started, it was coming at us so fast that I had to have a system. Save yourself some time, energy, and money, right? Okay, think about all the systems of the world. Okay, all the systems of the world. They create big organizations, big wealth. Well, when you created that system, Onyx, of Start X39, I just automatically plugged everybody into that. I'm like, if you can't remember Start X39, tattoo it on your thigh, for God's sake. Get that embedded in your brain. Start X39 is where I send my doctors, and I've sponsored about 150 of them. Doctors, nurses, lay people in their 80s. We got people in their 80s that are feeling high tech because they downloaded Telegram and are looking at the testimony page. And I mean, it's incredible, right? And so, like, we have all the tools necessary. So how do we plug people in that have never done network marketing? It's very easy. They just plug into the system. I mean, our son Bo is 22 years old and having tremendous success, and he's following the system. The first thing he sends everybody is startx39.com. He says, hey, you know what? What have you heard about stem cells? That's the question. It's a very simple question. What have you heard about stem cells? Let them talk. And then Start X39. The very next thing I send them is my website. I've realized a lot of brand ambassadors, brand partners don't even know their website. Okay, this is another thing that people need to understand. You can't send anybody to your website if you don't know what it is. So as soon as you sign up, if you're on this meeting and you say, yeah, I don't know what my website is, Renita, you need to write down your website. Okay, so it's usually lifewave.com/whatever you chose. Okay, but you need to know that. So Start X39, actually the first leading question is, what have you heard about stem cells? Then Start X39, then your own website. And then basically what I tell people, I'm very, very direct. I'm not wishy-washy, can you tell? I say, listen, I want you to join my team because I want to help you to win. I say it just like that. Listen, I want you to join my team because I want to help you to win. This is a simple sentence, you guys. You know, I don't just send it over and hope they take a look at it and then get a hold of me 10 days from now. I'm very specific. Listen. Say the word listen with me. Listen. When you say listen, people listen. Listen. I want you to join my team so I can help you to win. That's with your health. Maybe you've got health questions, but it's also financially. Okay. So go ahead, and when you're ready, I literally created a step-by-step how to join. And then I seared it in my brain, and Scott seared it in his brain so we can talk it. If we're laying in bed sleeping, we can talk it. If we're laying on a beach, we can talk it. The first thing I did, I went to my own website. I tried to enroll the dog. I mean, I really didn't, but I tried to, you know, you enroll so that you know what that process looks like, so that you're not trying, well, the blind leading the blind doesn't work. So for me, I like to go and get a little vision. Okay, like when someone goes to my website, what does it look like? And again, some people on this today, maybe you haven't been to your own website. Get to your website. Come on. If you're asking everybody else to go to your website, you got to get to your website. So go to the website, click the join button, click on become a brand partner. Like I can talk it now because I went to the new website. What did I do, guys? I went to the new website the day it was launched, and I literally wrote down the exact steps of how to enroll. Why? Because I want to enroll 300 more people. Okay, so in order to do that, I got to know the steps because it changed slightly, not huge, just a little bit. And so I went in there, and so understand that I wrote it down, and then you know what I did? Copy, Control C. That means copy on your computer, and then I put it over on messages, on Messenger and text message, Control V or paste. And I just did it over and over and over and over and over because there was no way I could get back to 100 people. Think about that for a second. So what do you have to do to help somebody who's never done network marketing? First of all, you got to give them your vision, and you ask what their vision is. If someone says, I don't want to build a business, I don't try to make them build a business. Listen, I got enough people calling me, texting Scott and I all 24 hours a day now that want to build this business that we don't have to nag, drag, or beg. So if they want to do it, help them. And if they don't, that's okay. Let them be consumers of the product, because I love consumers of the product, because those are the stories we share, right? And facts tell and stories sell, right? And I'm telling you what, when you're telling stories, it's like the Bible. You know, no one gets, commits their life to Christ because they, or read something. Usually it's a heartfelt story. And you're like, oh my gosh, I want that. I want freedom or whatever, right? And so share your stories. Your stories matter. Each of you watching today has a different story than mine. One thing I will tell you, I did not wait for a story with my own health, because I'm pretty healthy, right? Like I feel good. I feel like a rock star most days. Like I'm high energy all the time. I just had a little bit of a problem sleeping, and by the 4th day that was rectified. Praise the Lord. But truth be told, some people I talk to, they say, well, I'm going to wait until I see something. And I'm like, well, what do you think you're going to see? Right? Like I ask that question sometimes. Well, what do you think you're going to see? Well, I don't know. I'm pretty healthy, Renita. Well, then what are you anticipating here? Right. And so for me, I make it very specific. Like, I got started because I saw the opportunity was real. I saw what Steve and Gina were about to do. I saw what happened with my mom with the 11th patch did that. And then we put a patch on my dad that same morning that Steve signed me up. Listen, I wasn't even in the business yet. I wasn't even in the business. Someone had sent me these patches. I didn't know what they were. They were in a baggie. She said, no marketing material along. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew we were putting this patch on dad, our mom. And then that morning I said to my dad, because he had those rotten legs, and maybe you've seen that photo, the before and after, I put one patch on my dad. My dad was a one patch miracle. My dad was so funny. He said, I thought that patch was for Parkinson's. Why are we putting it on me? I said, I don't know what I said, I'm not sure what it's for at this point. But if it did that to mom, where she's walking around without the walker and she's wanting to make breakfast, we're going to give it a shot on those legs. We're going to give it a shot. And then my dad, the next morning we came back and those legs were all dried up. All that edema was gone. He was a one patch miracle, my father. So that was what launched our business. It wasn't some personal testimony that Scott had or I had. It was seeing my parents, because I thought, holy cow, they're 76 and 80. If it did that to them, it's bound to do something for me, right? Because I'm in way worse shape.
You know
So
what? The exciting thing that you're saying, that everyone is grasping onto this, is she obviously took advantage of putting 20 people right, 20 people left. She put way more in than that. We know that. But the point is that when you put enough people in, that goes to prove what I was saying earlier, that you can put 20 right and 20 left. This is something I can look you in the eye. Renita can look in the eye. Onyx and Gina can tell you that if you plug into what she just said about 331, you will have 20 right, 20 left. That's 40 people. Out of those 40, someone is going to want to start making it happen without you having to push your goals on them. And like Gina said, if by chance you don't have enough people calling you out, then do what Renita did. Put another 20 right, another 20 left, because you can see what's happening. And that way, when you plug them into this system, like she just spoke about her friend with franchising, I love what you said about it's changing the way people are seeing and working in a franchise. Basically, you buy a franchise, you bought a job. Unless you have multiple franchises like your friend has, but it's very difficult because you got so many people you got to be in charge of. But here is the closest thing to franchising, with a system that you take these busy people, then they can guide people and plug them in to the system. Let me ask you something.
That's my question.
You go for it. Go for it. Ask her.
Anita, we're so on fire. There's so many new people on here, and they want to know, is it possible for them to qualify senior director to come and be and dine and participate and meet and get a photo with the one and only, the CEO, the founder, the inventor, the scientist, David Schmidt, at our house on April 15th? Is it possible, Renita?
100%. And let me tell you how you're going to do it. You just start. You start. That's how you do it. You start. And what Scott and I did, I didn't even understand that I needed 200,000 points because I didn't quite get there yet. The first thing I did, I said to Scott, what's the first goal? I mean, I am such a goal setter because I've been in fitness for 25 years, right? We don't say I want to lose 100 pounds. We say, what are we going to do today? Right? We can have that long-term vision. That might take a bit. But I said to Scott, what do we need to do today? He goes, we need to go manager. What is that? You sponsor 2 people on the left, 2 people on the right with silver packs or higher. Perfect, because the majority of people I talk to, I'm going to do silver or higher. Why? Because it's a husband and a wife. Like I said before, I don't want the wife all, happy-go-lucky and the husband getting more crusty, right? And old, right? Usually when one spouse gets it going, the other spouse wants to get it going, right? And so for me, I always say, like, the silver pack is easy for couples because you're getting 3 sleeves. I mean, that's just an easy thing. Plus, what they're going to realize is maybe I should put more than 1 patch on today because I kind of got a hip pain. Sure, put 2 on today, right? So those 3 sleeves is a great place for a couple to get started. So that's easy, you guys. 2 on the left, 2 on the right. That's the very first goal. If you haven't done that, that's your goal for today. Today, that is your goal. Go find, and you say, how do you do it? You go start talking to people and you say, what have you heard about stem cells? Remember that it's just the question. What have you heard about stem cells? It is so easy. What have you heard about stem cells? And let them talk. And basically, I tell people, listen, I've partnered with this incredible technology that activates your own stem cells. Stem cells are God's gift to our bodies that allow us to heal and regain youth. And they're like, youth? Like, I'm 60. I'm like, yeah, you don't hardly have any stem cells left. You're going to need some. And so people are like, okay, I want the patch. I want the patch. So I make it very fun. I make it very simple. I find that people, less is more. A lot of times the patch does all the work because I just take the patch off and I'm like, hey, let me put one on you. Now they got one on them, right? And so that is something right there. There's a transference of energy. I'm a big believer in energy. There's a transference of energy that happens when I put that patch on someone. I'm literally praying over them. It's funny. Truett was putting patches on my mom this morning, someplace on her back. I said, Truett, when you're putting those patches, this is my 16-year-old. I said, when you're putting those patches on Grandma, I said, pray over those patches when you're putting them on there. And he goes, I'm doing it, Mom. So we just teach our kids, there's a transference of energy going on. So we're putting that positive energy out there. We know the patch does the work because it activates that copper peptide, right? That GHK-Cu peptide that is literally arguably the #1 peptide in the world, to reverse aging, right? And so when we're talking about that, I mean, it's just, you guys, this is so easy. Your first goal is manager. Your next goal after that is director. And what does director look like? You don't sponsor 2 and 2, you sponsor 3 and 3. So now you got 6 people on your team, right? And then 2 of those are going to go manager. Now, listen, if you don't have 2 that are going to go manager, just let them use the product. Maybe they just want to be a consumer for right now. It's okay. Don't bother them. Let them use it. Okay. Let them use it. Go sponsor a couple more. In my mind, I just thought I'm just going to keep sponsoring because eventually someone's going to want to do this with me. Right. And then I found out about the comp plan, Steve, where we get a 25% check match of first level leadership. I'm like, I said to Scott, we're glad we sponsored 800 people.
Yeah.
Because when this thing comes to fruition, it's going to be big, right? You know,
Hey, I love
because
what
that's
you
like,
said there for everybody. I love what you told them, that just get started. I mean, the
Oh.
point is the momentum that's happening right now, you don't know where it's going to be. There's going to be people that start today and qualify for the dinner. Even if you get in and you do what Renita just said and you start, I'm going to get going, and you get halfway there. The point is you're already halfway there. You got something you're shooting for, and you're rocking this and make it happen. Another thing that she said, which I love, and by the way, you know what I really love about this industry is that it really can help you with personal development skills that you need to learn. Think about this. Me, I'm a coach. I'm a competitor. I like to win, and I have always had to coach. So I know how to coach people. But me starting a conversation, if you're on here and you don't feel like you are in an Onyx or you are a Renita or a Gina, they can start. They don't even think the kind of thinking that we do when we're like, I'm in the Uber the other day thinking, okay, Gina told me to talk to the Uber driver. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like sweating.
So let me back up.
What am I going to
bit.
say?
He actually said, can you drive me to go to the Cadillac? I said, no. He goes, why? I said, get an Uber. You're going to meet somebody. Don't waste time driving there. Now you got another contact.
So I'm like sitting in the back seat, sweating, thinking, okay, what am I going to say? If she says this, I say that, I say this, and I'm sweating. These three would never even think of anything. They think that's stupid, right? But I will say, I love what she just said, that since I started making calls on July 1st, and by the way, for me being in this industry, I've let that come off from being married to Gina and then being around people like this that have this kind of personality, that charismatic personality that could just start a conversation anytime. It helps you by you being a part. That's a great win just there. Okay. So if you do what she said, what do you know about stem cells? All right. Just start it. I mean, that's all you have to do. And then, hey, I love this. We came across this technology, just like she said, that reactivates your own stem cells. If you're old enough to remember the E.F. Hutton commercials, that's all I've seen is everyone stops. They like the Uber driver lady right away. Oh my gosh, I got to hear more. Here's the information. Great. I'm going to have my wife text you the info about how this startx39.com, all the information. And I love to say you're going to get the 80 case studies, the doctor's reviews, the patents, and all the testimonies. That like highlights what we're sending them. And it's such an easy way to start the conversation. So I love what you said. Just get started.
I love that. And I'll tell you, this morning I was at hot yoga and an MD said to me, what do you do? And I said, a stem cell activation patch. She's like, are you kidding? I said, no. And I say exactly what Steve said. And here's one of the other things I say. I said, we did 31 million last month. And they just look at me, what? I said, give me your cell phone number and I'll text you the website. I'm literally leaving hot yoga. And she's like, I'm going to call you this afternoon. I said, no problem. You can call me this afternoon. So it's incredible. But remember, I'm saying as little as possible, just like Steve is doing, just like Renita is doing, and I'm giving them startx39.com, because in this industry, it's not about what you know, it's about what duplicates. So I can teach that MD everything that I know. It's a waste of my time. She needs to know that she can build this business, just like everyone you come in contact with. They need to know they can build the business. Lean on the tools work.
And let me say one more thing.
Renita, you made a really good point, yourself and Onyx, and I want to make sure that everybody gets this, okay? There's people that aren't seeing the kind of success that I know they can have. And it's just a bit of a shift. Like Onyx, like Renita started this off. She was talking about Onyx on stage saying, if you're not getting the results, shift. Not only shifting to something different, stay with what you're at. There's too much success happening here. You got to stay focused.
Oh yeah. Let me clarify that. Shifting within this organization means maybe they've been doing things a certain way and it hasn't quite worked, or they haven't gotten, you know, I know people that just blanket text and I'm like, you are burning through your contacts. Stop doing that. You know what I mean? People want to be heard. They want to be individualized. And so slow the roll with that. Don't burn through all your contacts. And so for me, it's about, sending out a blanket text didn't work. Okay, let's try something different. Shift. And what that shift means, you know, and for me, I feel like the system, my son Bo is doing the system, guys. He's 22. He's witnessed this in network marketing, but he's never built a network like he's building now. He just texted me right before this meeting, he goes, Mom, I've got 3 meetings set up for Monday and Tuesday. Can you hop on these Zooms with me? I'm like, yep. So he knows the system. He sends over the, what have you heard about stem cells? Start X39. And then he actually doesn't just send him his website. He says, you know what, can I do a short Zoom with you, 15, 20 minutes, where we just kind of go over it all, and that way we can answer any questions. He really wants them to feel heard. And so that's great. People want to feel heard, right? And so he does that. And you know what? Bo is almost a 10 out of 10 with those when he does those. He's 22. You know, he's just following the system that you guys have created, you guys.
And I do love that what we were talking about, the 2 things that Renita and Onyx just mentioned that are vital if you want to win and win fast, is they include the opportunity. They hear what Onyx said. She's over and over, Renita has been saying, where do you want to go in life? We've got something that we're launching and it is going to the moon. What are you looking for? And Onyx just said, we did $31 million in 1 month. Can you start saying that? If you're only talking about go ahead. Yeah.
You guys,
if you're only talking about the product, if you only talk about the product, you end up, even your upline, because like if I tell someone, hey, I want to help, that you're a busy person, like Renita was talking about, working with busy people. If I keep hearing the fact that everyone wants to talk to me when I'm helping that person about how the stem cell technology works, and going down this rabbit hole of all kinds of medical technical questions, I know that they're not talking about the 31 million we did last month, because they're not asking me the right questions. So remember, if you want to win fast, you really, other than the structure that Renita is going through, you need a good one on the right and a good person on the left that has a dream. And if they have a dream is big or bigger than yours, they could pass you up, and that is huge for you. Okay. But they gotta know that there's a business, or there's nothing to run for. If it's just the technology and just the product, you can really get stuck in a spot where you're not seeing the growth that we're experiencing, because we're all very into helping our friends win with their health. I mean, come on, that's Renita's profession, but she's not holding back that there's an opportunity here.
Yeah, yeah.
No, listen. Okay, so I'm thinking of 2 things before I forget. So we were in Mexico. Remember how you said, how do you share if you've never, someone's never shared before? Should I tell you what a universal language is? Pictures. It's a universal language. So here I am standing, like, by the way, when we went to Mexico, I can't even tell you the incredible people that we sponsored in Mexico that are going to tear this up in Canada. But anyway, so back down to earth, I'm standing there and I see this lovely Hispanic and couple standing there, and he's kind of got these varicose veins on his leg. And, you know, I'm a health coach, so I'm like, that looked like my dad's legs before the patch. You know, they're all like hanging out. And you know, I realized in a hurry when I was hearing him speak that they speak only Spanish. They don't speak English, right? And so then I had a book laying there. I had a book laying on my chair, just laying there. It was just this book. It was about acupuncture or something. And the guy stopped. Doesn't speak any English, guys. He looks down at the book and he points to it, and I'm standing there and I'm realizing, okay, where's Scott? Because Scott speaks a little bit of Spanish. I don't speak any, right? I hear Scott doing that. He's always on the app with the dings going because he's trying to learn Spanish. Anyway, and so like I'm sitting there and I said, I looked at his legs and I touched his legs, the varicose veins, because they were like hanging out. And I said, I can help you. And I showed him my dad's legs. I showed him pictures. I took out my phone and I started showing pictures. Here, this guy's got one of the biggest spas in Mexico City, guys. Wow. And he's like, how can I? So then Scott finally came, and, you know, Scott's good at like interpreting and whatever. So this guy is like, yeah, we want to share this with our spa in Mexico City. Like, these are our clients. And he showed me the clients. Now he's showing me pictures. I'm showing him pictures. He's showing me pictures, right? I said to Scott, pictures is a universal language. You don't even have to speak either one of those. People look at the befores and afters of, you know, people's like wounds healing, and my dad's legs, and the faces look, you know, 20 years younger in 3 months and things like that. And then the guy's like, he wants it, right? This guy's getting on board. And I said to Scott, and then guess what I did next? Start X39, clicked on the Hispanic at the top, Onyx, boom, sent it over. And I said, Me hablo no español. I said, español. And I had sent it to him because by that time we were friends on Facebook, and I was sending things on Messenger because we were holding each other's phones. And I showed him, and he's like, oh, see. And so then he went to lunch, him and his wife, and they're texting me in Spanish. Scott's interpreting. He's like, we're going through all the information now. We want to do this. I'm like, this started with pictures of legs. I'm like, I didn't even speak one lick of Spanish, you guys.
Renita, that is
Pictures are
amazing.
universal.
I
Steal
love
our
the fact-
pictures, steal our pictures, steal
I love
all of
what
our
you're
pictures
saying.
in the group.
My most important thing that I love for everyone on here is that this isn't from theory. Nobody on this training or anyone that we're bringing on to our Saturday events are doing it on theory. We're all doing it. I mean, Renita's telling you stories. That's why we have her on here. She's doing it and it's happening. Let me ask you something. Of all the years you've been in the industry, have you ever seen your friends win this quickly? Have you ever seen this kind of, they have to pretty much forget anything they've ever seen ever in networking compared to what's happening right now with X39? Tell them a little bit.
1000%. So first of all, I've been a health coach for 25 years. I've never seen the type of healing of the body that's happening that I've seen with people wearing this patch. Let's just say that first, because I love health, right? But the second part of this is like, I mean, I just had my friend Jaime on. Jaime's been in other networks and he's done this and that. Jaime, literally on a meeting, I think it was last night, Jaime's like, I'm able to stay home with my children and raise my boys and not put them in daycare. They live down in California. He said, because of this opportunity, he's like, I've been in other network marketing companies. I've never really made any money. You know, we got a gal that just got on 2 weeks ago, and I can't say income's on here, right? I can't say money, but she was talking like, she's like, in my first week, I made this much money and it was thousands, you guys. And she's like, I've never had that type of success in any other type of network marketing or even other businesses that people have done, right? Because I mean, look at the people that I'm talking about that own, like the guy I talked to yesterday, he said it was $1 million build out for me for this location. I lost 150,000 last year. I'm hoping to just kind of keep it going a little bit here and try to turn around and sell it for 400,000. Think of that loss, guys. Paid $1 million into it, lost 150 grand last year. I mean, think about it. Like here, the biggest thing you can invest is $1,600. And guess what? You got a bunch of patches. If nothing else, you're going to be really healthy.
That's right. That's right.
Right? So yeah, Steve, I mean, I tell you the opportunity for everybody has said the same thing. We've never seen an opportunity like this, that we've won this fast financially. They've never seen it. You know, I love, so there's 4 ways of making money, right? Like the third way of making money is like actually my favorite. I like the 25-20-20. Onyx, you're right. When you said, I like that. Because I just think to myself, we get, you know, and it was funny because yesterday I was listening to Tim Gidley. I love Tim Gidley. He's great. Like, just love that. Yeah, I love all the meetings, right? Listen, we don't have to get on the meetings. We get to get on the meetings.
Yeah.
I get to get on these meetings, right? So if you're the person who's like, oh, I have to get on a meeting, wrong energy, friends. I get to get on this meeting. So I'm listening to Tim Gidley, but one thing I was thinking is that it's so interesting with the 25-20-20, the check match, because I don't get 25% off of the people I sponsor. I don't get 25% off what they sponsor. They get paid and I get a match in addition to what they got paid. I think that we need to quantify that better verbally, because sometimes when people say it, it's like, oh, that person's getting a cut of it. No. They're getting their full cut. That first line leadership is getting their full cut. The second line leadership is getting a 25% check match, above and beyond what that first person was paid, right, guys? So I think about that. We got to kind of talk about that differently, because when people verbalize it, they kind of say things like, I get 25% of what my first line does. No, you don't get 25% of what your first line does, because your first line is getting full pay. You get a check match additionally of 25%. That's a big deal. Think about just think about this. If you have friends, and this is why I love network marketing, you guys, because if I couldn't have got to the top just sponsoring, and I'm the number 1 enroller in the company. I couldn't have got to the top by myself though, because you cannot sponsor your way to the top. You've got to start building teams. You've got to start creating managers and directors, right? You've got to do that, because that's how the team works. I can sponsor a lot of people, but you'll never go straight to the top sponsoring all by yourself. You've got to build teams, right? And so what I realized in a hurry, Scott and I both, we said, listen, we got to create manager after manager after manager after manager. Like the goal is managers, as many managers. And then the next goal after that is director after director after director, right? And so that's just really what we went to work doing. And we tell our team, they want to build, first goal is manager. And my son, Bo, even says it. Your goal is to go manager within 48 hours. We got Bo saying it. He's 22, never built a network before, telling his buddies that are getting in, they're like, do I have to? Bo goes, yeah, you want to. You definitely want to do that. because he knows that that momentum, the excitement is never going to be what it is like when you first start, right? And so that just starts the traction. That starts that layer, like Onyx, that 4-month layer. I just think I'm building layers of bricks, right? Acres and acres of diamonds. And so we're just like building them up here. And so I don't even know what you guys asked.
Wow,
but
the information that everyone is gathering, I just want to take the energy, all right? You take this energy and you start implementing that into your business, you're going to see incredible growth. And the belief, I mean, you know, you take other people's belief. Like when we first started, we gravitated to Onyx's belief.
Right.
Even Renita had to take Onyx's belief because all of us are hoping and praying it's going to work. But now you're seeing so much of all this belief. We got one last question for you, Renita, and this is a good one for everyone, okay? Last week, Saturday, we heard David Schmidt. He took 10 years of research and $4.5 million to bring this to market. I mean, man, he had some serious delayed gratification. And that is what people need to see. So I want you to elaborate more on what it takes and what kind of mindset in a person you need to have some stamina to finish what we've started here. We believe everyone can win, but can you give them a little mindset so they can like not have this, okay, I'm fired up today, but I'm not tomorrow, or I'm getting tired, and they're really probably not getting tired. They can't get tired of patching 3 people. I mean, give them what you're thinking to have this energy. 8 months in, almost 9 months, you still have this kind of excitement. Onyx has it, we have it. David has it after 10 years. And now with X39, that's 13 years about that he's been talking about this incredible technology.
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think that the honest to God truth is, if you don't have belief, you're not doing this business, right? The reason we can share, you can share, all of us are sharing. Like I always say, sharing is caring, by the way. So if you care, you should be sharing. But the belief is what's going to keep you going. So if at any point I start to feel like my belief goes down, then I have to go do things to activate my belief. I have to go do those things. So I get on a meeting. Getting on a meeting like today is going to increase belief, right? Getting on a Monday meeting, a Wednesday meeting, any type of meeting, when you're hearing people that are outside of yourself having success, whether it's physical with health or financially, it's going to increase your belief. All of those things increase belief, right? So I think the biggest ticket to keep the staying power is make sure you stay in the belief zone. If you're hanging around a bunch of Debbie Downers, naysayers that are just talking about weird stuff, you know what? I'm like, I can't talk about that. I got to go. Like, I'm not sure what's going on over there, but I got to get back over here. Because here's what I always say, Jesus did that too. He just didn't hang out with them all the time. Sometimes he went alone to pray. But like, I'm just thinking to myself, sometimes what happens is if we get around, there's that old saying that when you complain, you become a crap magnet. Have you guys ever heard it? There's a great book. It's by T. Harv Eker called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. I've read it about 5 times. And T. Harv Eker, which by the way, his name is not T. He just called himself T. Harv Eker because he's the Harv Eker, which is hilarious. But anyway, T. Harv Eker says in the book, he said that when you complain, you become a walking, talking crap magnet. That is like a page in the book, and it's seared in my brain because I think that when people start complaining, there is something called the complaint train. How many of you know that exists? Get off the complaining train. It's going to derail. And so for me, I don't even stay on that. I try to get off that as quickly as possible. Be careful who, I always say, I really preserve my energy. I don't just don't let my energy be around anybody because I know my energy is powerful. And I know that energy is life, right? If you have energy, you can do things in life. If you don't have energy, life's gone. And so I really try to get around people that are moving in a direction, a common direction. Another thing I learned early on is be careful to take advice from people that have not been where you want to go. You know, in network marketing, you're always going to talk to people. Maybe it's your sister-in-law, maybe it's your coworker, maybe who knows? Someone is going to say, oh, those don't work. Network marketing doesn't work. In fact, I got to tell you something else about that you're going to love in a second here. But I always say this, ask that person, how many lives have you changed in network marketing? And if they say none, why are you even letting them talk to you about it? How much money have you made in network marketing? Oh, you made only $10 because you quit? Okay, I really don't want your opinion. A long time ago, I had a pastor that said your brain and head is the watchdog for your heart. So you got to be careful what we're letting into our head. And guess what? Your eyes are the gates to the soul. So be careful what you look at. So like this goes to this. But some people go like this. Oh, my sister-in-law. Oh, my coworker. Oh, my whatever. It goes head, heart, head, heart, head, heart. And pretty soon they're like, I can't do it. Doesn't work. I'm like, who are you listening to? The first question I ask everybody is this question. Do I want my life to look like theirs? That's my question. That's what I asked. When I saw Steve and Gina and they were homeschooling their kids and they were telling them about network marketing, I'm like, I want to homeschool my kids. I want to homeschool Scott and I want to homeschool our kids. I want to be like, I want to do that. I look at the people that are feeding and giving me advice and I ask myself, do I want my life to look like theirs? And if the answer is no, then you can politely say, thank you very much for your opinion. I got to roll. And then you walk on. That's all you do. You don't let it go from your head to heart because this is foolish. This is called foolish. Head heart, head heart. When people do head heart over the all the time with everything, this is why the world has gotten so crazy, right? So I'm like, okay, filter the brain. What are they saying? Okay, so I want to tell you one more thing. This is really huge because I'm really working with the demographic where I'm bringing in a ton of healthcare practitioners, right? A ton. We're talking doctors, naturopaths, homeopaths, chiropractors, personal trainers, like you name it. And one thing that's very, very interesting is kind of the closed-mindedness of some medical doctors, not all, but some, when I'm talking about network marketing, they're like, well, how do I explain to my patients network marketing? That's what they're saying, okay? Some of them, I said, well, first of all, you don't go to your patients and say, hey, listen, we're signing you up for network marketing today. I'm like, I said, first of all, I don't think it's a bad thing, but if they perceive it as that, then watch your mouth. You know what I mean? Then I say things like, you know what, why would you even be using that language? You don't have to use that language. You know, I'm talking about a stem cell activation patch that is incredible. The only one in the world, you guys. We've got the patent for the next 17 years. We got a 17-year run going on here. I don't think my energy is going to fade for 17 more years. I got a feeling. Oh. But anyway, and so I said, why even use that language? Well, then I took it one step further. And I said, imagine this. We've been trained, because listen, everything in life is neural patterns. You guys know what that means? Neural patterns are the way we think all the time. And we have 98% of the same thoughts every single day. Every single day, the same thoughts that we have today is the same thought you had last Tuesday, okay? Unless you're doing something different. And you know what makes difference? Movement. Momentum comes from the word movement, moving. You got to do something, okay? You can't just look at your back office again. Like, you got to go out and talk to people. You got to patch people. You got to go 3-3-1. You got to do. Well, anyway, back to this thing. I had this visual. I think it was the Holy Spirit. I had this visual in my mind where I thought, boy, we're into this system where a lot of these doctors that I'm talking to, they get a prescription drug, and this is nothing against the prescription drug market. This is just that industry. It's a $1 trillion industry, the drug market, right? I said, so they have a pharmaceutical company that makes a drug, right? They invest $70 million minimum to market one drug. You guys know that's the minimum investment in marketing. Well, how do they market it? Television ads, billboards, Facebook marketing, right? It's just, you're inundated with this stuff over and over for 50 years. And so then what happens next? Well, then there's a pharmaceutical rep, and that pharmaceutical rep educates the doctor. The doctor then puts you on the medication, and the medication might have some side effects. Generally, they have 3 to 5. And what's going to happen, and nothing against medication, because sometimes in life we need medication, right? If I'm in a crisis, don't just put a patch on me. If I get ran over, just take me to the hospital. But what happens is you have this kind of this hierarchy, and then eventually they run it through insurance. The person still pays a copay. They get the pill. Now they got the medicine in the hand, and then we know that medication is probably going to have some side effects somewhere along the way, and then it goes back to the top to the next medication, and that process starts over. Think about what I just said. That's the old system that neurologically is completely normal for us. Yeah. I said, this is what I said to the doctor on the phone. I said, here's the new system. I said, there's a company called LIFEWAVE that has 86 clinical studies, David Schmidt said the other day, and 132 patents. 86 clinical studies. We're talking third-party research here, guys. We got all kinds of stuff going on with clinical studies. This is science, like Onyx says, it's science and nature brought together. We got 86 clinical studies. We got 20 years of David Schmidt proving himself in this technology of phototherapy and photobiomodulation, a fancy name for light therapy, right? So we got the company. And guess what? When you sign up by hitting the join button, you buy it wholesale. Okay, remember this strategy over here I just told you about over here? That was normal. This is completely normal for the doctors to be talking about all this levels over here. Now I'm over here. LIFEWAVE, hit the join button, become part of my team so I can help you win. I want you to win, okay? Become part of my team so I can help you to win. And then guess what? If you're winning, tell the others. And now they're paying you to wear it. It's a 3-step approach over here, kids. Over here, I'm not sure what's going on. And so I said to the doctor, think about what I just told you. I said, what you're telling me over here is normal, and you're scared to talk about this. This is the freedom model, my friends. For all the freedom lovers in the world, I'm a patriot. I'm a freedom lover. This is the freedom model. Financial freedom, health freedom, all the freedoms over here. You guys get that? Isn't that crazy to think about how neural pattern we've been trained like this is normal. I'm like, that is not normal. This should be norm. You guys got it? Isn't that crazy to think about? Wild.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Renita. What a great call. I knew it was going to be joy, 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 joy. It was just a beautiful time. There was so much information, and I'm a racehorse, and she ran as fast as she could possibly run. I know I'm going to have to watch this again because I want to take some more notes on some of the specific things that Renita is saying to people when she's introducing it. And remember what she said at the beginning about shifting. That shifting is about, okay, wait a minute. I've been saying it like this, like, you know, this person said, I heard Steve say it this way. I want to try it that way. Or I heard Renita say it this way. I'm going to shift and try it this way. Or I heard Gina say it this way. I'm going to shift again. And so you shift until you find the way that works for you. It's like trying on the pair of shoes. You might all wear size 9 sneakers, but each one of us fits into a different pair of sneakers better. You shift until you find that pair of sneakers that's right for you. So we have so much great stuff coming this week. There's absolutely no reason that everybody on this call can't be at Steve and Gina's home. If you haven't been to their home, it's amazing. I already have my little white dress picked out. I'm very, very excited to be able to come up to their home again and to be in their energy. I love being with Steve and Gina. I love being in their energy. I, of course, adore spending time with David Schmidt. I know those of you that haven't had a chance to meet him are going to really enjoy meeting him. So thank you, Steve and Gina, for opening your home and for hosting all of us. And thank you for each one of you for putting your sneakers on and getting yourself there to earn the ability to come to that home and hang out with us and be with David Schmidt and break bread together and enjoy time together. What a great call.
Guys,
I love you guys. Thank you for having me on, you guys. I appreciate you. I love you. And Steve and Gina, I'm looking forward to some barefoot water skiing. This time, let's pray Scott doesn't lose his swimming trunks in the lake.
maybe we can have Scott put on a little exhibition for us we've got Monday night. Boy, guys, did that hour go by quick or what?
Right.
Monday night, Harvey and Bernita Monk are going to bring it to the people. This couple is on fire, and they are so fired up to be at our house. They're senior directors moving on to the next rank, just crushing it, and they're going to be tearing it up on Monday night. So make sure you put your people on. All you got to do, like Renita said, is point to the Monday opportunity and get them there. What an incredible hour that we just had. Here's all the meetings.
There's almost 600 people on here between the Zoom and the YouTube live. We have almost 600 people that watch Renita live today.
And we are, everyone is learning, they're seeing, and we are putting everyone on these opportunity events and Saturday trainings that bring it. They bring the information like we just heard from Renita. We're going to have to re-listen to this. The information that she brought from her background is so incredible. What a unique, very fast 1 hour that went so fast. Here's the meetings to plug into. So Monday night, Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, Friday at noon. This is all Eastern time. And then Thursday is Spanish, and it is growing very quickly. The Spanish community, they're getting a hold of what this X39 is doing, and they're getting the results both physically and financially. And then next Saturday, we're going to be at the same place. All of them are on the same link. And then keep open because we've got unique meetings that are happening in person. We don't have a lot of these, but it's great to connect with people. So take a snapshot of this. We're going to get you exact details of where everything is at, but we're going to be in West Palm Beach on March 22nd, Hilton Head on April 4th, Jacksonville on April 5th, Orlando on April 6th. So plan on being at these events. And a lot of the other leaders are going and doing meetings, and we're letting you know on the Quantum Field X39 team Facebook page. So make sure you watch for that, where you're going to see all the rank advancements and updates of where everybody's at. And we encourage you, like Renita has told us today, to do everything you got to run for the April 15th event at our place. So you can shake David Schmidt's hand, take a picture. There's nothing more powerful than being there and having the knowledge, because knowledge is power.
Don't worry, I got a photographer coming, guys. We're gonna see amazing pictures for you to be able to share yourself. We're gonna put them right onto the invite so everybody can pull their own photos off. It's gonna be a fun time. I just got the catering finalized. It is going to be a blast.
So
And
guys,
Gina knows how to throw a party, everybody. Gina really knows how to throw a party. So it's going to be fun.
So Renita, thank you so much.
Thank you, Renita.
Such a
Thank you.
blessing, so powerful. The energy, the information, just your excitement. Thank you for just giving everybody all you got. You really poured in, and this is going to be so valuable for all of them as they're sponsoring people. They can share this amazing teaching for all their new people. Thank you so much. You're a blessing.
They all can do it. We gotta start saying, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Come on,
That's right.
baby.
I love you. I love
Great.
Scott. I love your kids. And I see Nike walking back and forth.
We gotta put more patches on that one. She's wild.
That's right. God bless you. Thank
God bless
you.
everybody. Have a
Everybody,
great
guys.
Saturday.
Love you.
Okay.
have
Bye-bye.
a productive rest of the weekend. You got all the way till Sunday at midnight Eastern.
Let's
to
go.
complete this thing. You got it.
Let's
And
go.
Monday night, shift all your people onto that opportunity so they can join and see the power couple. The monks are going to do an amazing job. Thank you. God bless you. Have a great rest of your